YouTube, what is good? AJ Boogie back at it again, bringing you that Tacko Falls. Hey, I got a comment from my man Daniel. He wanted me to make a Tacko Fall video, and here you go. And I've been following Tacko for a while. His career's been very interesting. We've seen this guy in and out of the spotlight before. Every once in a while he has a big game. We'll see him on YouTube. We'll see him on Twitter. Let's actually dive deeper into who this guy is. And let's start with the essentials. He stands 7'7", 289 pounds. Wears a size 22 shoe. 22. He has a wingspan of 8'2" and a standing reach of 10 feet 2 inches. So this man really doesn't even have to jump to dunk a basketball, and if he gets on his tiptoes, he definitely could dunk it. And last year in the NCAA tournament, he gave Duke big problems. He was undrafted this year, but he was signed with the Boston Celtics Summer League team. Let's talk about his strengths and weaknesses. Let's start off with the strengths. So right off the bat, we know this guy's huge. We know his size is a plus. Stands 7'7", standing reach at 10'2". This man is an absolute brick wall in front of the rim. Something that nobody talks about with this guy. He has very good hands as a big man. And he has decent mobility as a guy who's 7'7". Usually a guy 7 feet tall, they can't run very good. People just aren't meant to be that tall. But he's got some athletic ability along with his mobility. This guy was a Defensive Player of the Year for the AAC, the American Athletic Conference. He shot 74% from the field for his career at UCF. He only played 23 minutes a game, and the man got 2.5 blocks. Now, let's talk about his weaknesses. And I just mentioned one of them. He only played 23 minutes a game in college. In a 40-minute game, he only plays a little over half. And even though he is a defensive monster, he can't move out from the basket. He can only move block to block. In today's NBA, you need to be able to play 30 feet away from the basket, guard from 30 feet away. And as far as a post game, the guy's only got one move. Turn to his right and shoot over you. And you might think, a guy who's 7'7", he doesn't need a post game. Just shoot over anybody. But here's the thing. In college, very rarely will you run into another 7-footer. And UCF, they're in the American Athletic Conference, which isn't really a powerhouse conference at all. Let me ask you this question. If the guy was 6'9", 6'10", would he be an NBA prospect? The answer's no. But Boogie, he faced Duke in the NCAA tournament. He almost took out Zion Williamson, Cam Reddish, and RJ Barrett. I'm glad you brought that up. If you watched that game, Tacko Falls was guarding Duke's point guard, Tre Jones, who is not an offensive threat. Watch these highlights. Tre Jones can't shoot, so what does Tacko Falls do? He stays right under the basket. Current day NBA, he's going to have to play away from the basket. Everybody can shoot. Tre Jones was Duke's worst offensive threat. And in the NBA, a team's worst offensive threat is probably a knockdown three-point shooter who just stands there in the corner. He won't be able to hide from anybody in the NBA. There's just too many question marks with Tacko Falls. And I doubt he's ever seen athletes like in today's NBA. Size is just something you can't ignore. I think Tacko Falls' ceiling is a person who can come off the bench and change the other team's momentum, change their dynamic, having to make some certain substitutions. But I don't see him being a perennial NBA All-Star or star. If he can only play half a game in college, which plays about 30 games a year, he's not going to be able to do it for 82. I think he can be an impactful 10 to 12 minutes kind of guy. Tacko Falls was just born in the wrong era. We throw Tacko Falls back in the era of the 70s, 80s, early 90s. He would have fit right in. He would have been a great basketball player. But in today's game of the NBA, the breakneck speed that they play at, NBA is getting to a point where there's going to be 5 3-point shooters out on the floor at one time. And that's including bigs. He was just born in the wrong era. Now, I think Tacko Falls' ceiling, as far as European ball, I think Tacko Falls can make a huge impact overseas. But I'm glad that the NBA is giving him a look. He's a great guy, a 4.0 student in college. But being an NBA star, I don't think that's going to happen. That's all the heat I got for today. Like, comment, subscribe to the Boogie Squad, follow my Twitter, and follow my Instagram. Let me know in the comments if I'm right or wrong. Let me know what kind of videos you want me to make next. And with that, I'm gone. Boom!